Also facing a judge today, the former deputy director of a D.C. public safety agency. She pleaded guilty earlier this year to taking a $10,000 bribe, which she describes as, quote, a lapse in judgment.
And today, Dana McDaniel was sentenced to 16 weekends behind bars, more than 3 years on probation, and 6 months on house arrest. Our Washington, D.C. reporter Felicia Ashley is joining us live from the D.C. Bureau tonight.
Yeah, Felicia, you were in court today, and the judge said that government employees need to learn a lesson. What happened?
That's right, and he said that lesson is if you're a government employee and you get involved in these pay-to-play schemes, that there will be consequences. And today, Dana McDaniel felt some of those consequences. Now, today in court, we heard for the first time why she claims she got involved in all of this. She said that she said no multiple times when she was propositioned with this bribe. She said she eventually said yes. She claims that she fell upon financial issues, but she said from the jump, she knew it was wrong.
It's sad that someone like the confidential informant can have an influence on someone like Ms. McDaniel.
Cameras were not allowed as I sat in the sentencing for former ONSE director Dana McDaniel. In court, McDaniel says she took the bribe out of panic and fear.
Obviously, Ms. McDaniel doesn't agree with the position that she sold herself or her position. Instead, it's our position that she was actually poached and that she found herself in a bad time and had a lapse of judgment and made a bad decision.
McDaniel's guilty plea, as well as Councilman Tran White's arrest, have caused heavy scrutiny of the validity of D.C.'s violence interrupters. White is also facing a federal charge for an alleged bribe tied to McDaniel's former office. The office is responsible for violence prevention programs. The violence interrupters have been under a microscope since essentially her arrest, and obviously another that has a trial in January. She mentioned that she didn't want what's happening right now to taint that work. As it relates to violence interrupters and the work that Ms. McDaniel had a heavy hand in, what are your thoughts on where that stands now and even her future in continuing to do work in the community?
I think it's, again, there's no winners today, and this is very sad. And I think the worst part about this is those violence interrupters literally put their lives on the line like police officers, but without the badges and the guns. That they've created alliances throughout the district with different gangs and communities and neighborhoods.
As part of her plea to the judge to lower her sentence, McDaniel shared that right now, as I'm speaking with you, she still works in the community with at-risk as well as special needs children, and said that at least 100 of them, as well as her daughter, rely on her. Now, in court, the judge said that he did not feel that McDaniel was completely honest with everything that she did and everything that she knew, but he did say that he felt that she did learn her lesson. Now, I will be back in that same federal courthouse in January, where a council member will now face his federal trial for a bribe connected to McDaniel's same former office. We're now reporting live from the D.C. Bureau. Felicia Ashley, 7 News.
Thank you, Felicia. And now you heard her just mention a January trial. That is when council member Tran White will face a jury. He's accused of agreeing to accept tens of thousands of dollars to steer city contracts at the Office of Neighborhood Safety and Engagement. He allegedly actually received $35,000 and some kickbacks on grants. And you can find our extensive coverage on this bribery investigation and the concerns that it raises about possible corruption in D.C. on our 7 News YouTube channel.